Hello everybody, Snowflake here, and welcome to another episode of Skyrim. We're finally sort of caught up with everything I missed while I was on holiday. Uh, this video is coming out a little bit late. It's supposed to come out at 6 p.m. UK time. It's currently 7:30 UK time, and I'm just recording it now. It should be up at some point tonight, but the rest of the videos from now on should all be on time. Yeah, I'm gonna record this week's Skyrim videos today. So I've already done the Tag Force one. So yeah, everything should be on schedule from now on. But this video will come out a little bit late, so apologies for that. However, I want to remind you guys that, and that especially now when I'm back from holiday, that I do a thing called Snowflake Sundays, where you guys can vote for the content you want me to do every Sunday. I'll leave a link to the form for next Sunday in the description below, as well as the link to my Discord server, where that link to the form gets posted every single week. You guys can vote, and I will randomly pick one of the votes that have been cast, and that will be the thing that I do for that Sunday. Hopefully that sounds good. But yeah, now to recap the last episode, it wasn't a very long one. We did request the Whispering Door, which was to do with the Jarl Balgruuf's son was acting up and being very strange, and apparently it was because of the influence of something called the Whispering Lady, which could be heard through this abandoned door in somewhere in Dragon's Reach, in the basement, far away from everyone. But yeah, apparently the door was whispering, and so we investigated, and the door was indeed whispering, and it introduced itself as Methala, which is the Daedric prince of deceit and betrayal and the web spinner and all that stuff. So she was kind of giving loads of secrets to Nelkir, that was Balgruuf's son, and making him hate his dad because she likes to sow the seeds of discord. So yeah. So instead, we were tasked with opening the door and uncovering the ebony blade, which is Methala's artifact, because it had been locked away there by Balgruuf and the court wizard Farengar. Nelkir tried to get us to kill Farengar, saying that he won't be missed, but instead, we pickpocketed the key from him and opened the door, got the ebony blade, and left. Now, to make the ebony blade stronger, we would have to kill a lot of people who we considered friends. But I don't really want to do that, and that's not part of a quest, so I ain't doing it. But we will be doing another quest today, and like I said at the end of the last episode, we're going to be doing some of the Solstheim side quests. So Solstheim is an area how do I describe it? It's like an island sort of between Skyrim and Morrowind. I don't even know if it's an island actually. It's between Skyrim and Morrowind basically, so you get Nords and Dark Elves, mostly Dark Elves I think. That's where we did the Dragonborn DLC quest. And we did the main quest already, but there's a lot of side quests that have to be done as well. This one in particular, we need to get the ancient Nordic pickaxe for Glover Mallory, who is the brother of Delvin Mallory, who we met in the Thieves Guild. So that was a nice little touch for them to add a family member for him there. So yeah, we need to go get that for him. I think some old man borrowed it from him and didn't give it back. Something like that. So yeah, we're going to go and do that as soon as Feindor steps out of my way. Thank you. Oh, what was that, Embry? Doing a little slot drop there, I see. Okay. So I believe the quest was probably going to be in Solstheim somewhere. Could be very wrong on that. Do we even have a quest marker? I'm gonna assume it's in Solstheim. Alright, interesting you bring up the Netch, because that's coming up soon as well. Netch related quest.
Talk to Captain Galland if you're looking to get past him.
I knew I recognized this. So another fun fact, I've recently picked up Morrowind. I haven't played very much of it, mind you, only like a few hours, but yeah, this is the Morrowind music. Like yeah, I like when I first went to Solstheim, I never played Morrowind, like when we did the Dragon Ball quest line earlier. But yeah, this is the Morrowind music. It's pretty cool. Yeah, might be after Skyrim. I'm thinking about a Morrowind playthrough. I haven't played it. I've never played Morrowind before. I've only played a few hours of it. But yeah, that would be interesting, I think. We'll see. Alright, so we've gone to Raven Rock. And we're looking for some old dude, I think. Let's talk to the people here, just in case I've missed some dialogue of some people. To Lover Marley. Yep, he's looking for the pickaxe.
Anything you can offer, please. I'm starving.
Rins Levu. Hey, have a gold piece.
Bless you, Sarah.
You appear to be in dire straits. What happened?
I was one of the Redoran Guard under Captain Veleth's command. A few years ago, I was out on patrol with 2 other men when we were attacked by some ash spawn. They sprung from the ground with no warning and killed one of my companions instantly. I was so frightened I ran all the way back to Raven Rock. Unfortunately,
he fought some ash spawn, I think.
The other guardsman behind and he never made it. Captain Veleth discharged me from service. There isn't a single night that passes where I don't regret what I did. But it's too late for that now.
Oh. Is there nothing we could do to help him? Maybe take him on a quest to get him back in the good graces of the guards? No?
Another day of misery.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best. Either you're here to get showered in sparks, or you're looking for something to buy.
You wouldn't talk to me earlier. Weird. Browser girl?
He better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
Don't pity me. And don't look at me like that. I know what I am.
Oh, seems similar dialogue. Here, have a gold piece.
Thank you, Outlander.
Yeah, no probs. Why should I pity you?
Doesn't everyone pity the hopeless? Look at me. I'm no better than a beggar. I used to be a miner. A good one, too. I made more gold digging up ore in a month than some people earn in a lifetime. When the mine dried up, I was lost. I have no other trade, so I spend my time drinking my fortune away at the retching Netch. Or I used to, anyway.
Used to? What happened?
That fetcher Geldis won't even allow me inside. Said I was bad for business.
Oof.
If I want to spend my last bag of coins getting drunk, that's my business. What does he care?
I could talk to him for you.
You can try. If you can get that stubborn mule to let me into the Netch, I'll make sure you get what's coming to you.
Doesn't sound like a good thing. Convince Geldis Sagri to admit Browsertroll to the inn. Okay. You appear to be in dire straits. What happened?
I was one of the wealthiest miners in town. I could haul up almost 3 or 4 times what the average digger could. I never saw the end coming like it did. The mine running out of ebony. Unlike most of my fellow miners, I was too foolish to save enough coin for that day. The rest I spent on Sujama to drown my sorrows.
That's a great alcoholic drink.
Was kind enough to allow Ruins and I to live in one of the abandoned buildings. At least it keeps the ash out of our eyes.
Yeah.
It might take more than a simple request to change Geldis' mind. He can be quite stubborn.
Spare some coin for a lost soul.
I just spared some coin for you.
Yet?
Mallory.
Looking for any potions? Ingredients?
Yeah, we talked to you. Drayla.
Miserable.
Yeah, we
Just
talked to you.
miserable. Oh, I hate this place.
Always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by.
My husband
True.
Daniel feared visitors would shun Raven Rock. I'm glad to see he was mistaken.
It gets lonely out here, you know, on this remote.
Yeah, I get what you're putting down.
Oh, hello. You looking for a handout or something? My father and mother are the richest on the island, and that includes Councillor Morvain.
Okay.
If you ask me, my father knows how to run things better than the Councillor. What do you need, handsome? Need something? Is there something I can do for you? Yes? Hi there. What do you need, handsome?
Okay. You've exhausted the dialogue.
Welcome to
Gary?
Raven Rock, traveler. Could I interest you in any fine ash-grown foods? My wife and I are doing the best we can to keep Raven Rock fed.
Is he
Next
following
time
me?
you're hungry, stop by. I'll
They
starve
are
you
following
for
me, aren't
this.
they? I drew.
Your visit here will be tolerated
Yeah.
as long as you abide by our laws. Otherwise, you'll
This
answer
island's
to
nothing
the
but a
red-
pile of rubble. What's the point trying to make a life here?
Always nice
Glover
to speak
Mallory's
to
the
someone
name.
from the mainland.
If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the
I
best.
hope you enjoy your stay in Raven Rock. And what might you need? Need something? Yes, Sora? Need something?
If you're looking to purchase something,
Yeah, okay, we
speak
talk
to
to
my
you.
father, Fethis.
Glory,
Spare
Runs,
some
Browser,
coin for a lost soul. If you
Carry,
ever need apothecary supplies, talk to my wife, Milori.
and you,
Want to buy
Fethis.
it? I'd be on the first
Oh
ship
yeah,
off this
we-
island if
you're
I
the
could
guy who
find
wanted the
sale.
pendants, I
What a
think.
waste.
Okay, I think that's about everybody. Get some good old trauma root. We've never been in here before. Raven Rock Mine. Okay, I guess that's where you would find a pickaxe. Alright. Well, our friend is not too far away from here.
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me be.
Precious, last time you explored the mine, you almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
I'm telling you, I'll do whatever it takes to find my great-grandfather's remains. He's down here. I can feel it.
That was almost 2 centuries ago. There may be nothing left to find.
Just let me go, woman.
Precious, you're an obstinate old fool and you're going to get yourself killed.
Well, that sounds like a quest. Was that it? I think that's it. Alright, well, I'm gonna grab some stuff if you guys are cool with that. History of Raven Rock Volume 1. Oh, this could be interesting. Probably, I don't think we've read any, like, maybe we have read some Souls Time specific books, but history, we've read Volume 2, but not Volume 1. Interesting, okay. The History of Raven Rock Volume 1 by Lyrin Teleno. Forward. Raven Rock is one of the more interesting colonies of Morrowind of the last 2 centuries. So much has happened to this tiny town in such a short amount of time. So many lives have been affected by it. I felt it necessary to describe its rich history within these volumes. During my research, I lived in Raven Rock for almost 3 years, and I got to know many of my fellow Donma who call Raven Rock their home. I hope that my readers will appreciate the amount of fortitude and perseverance that it must take to endure life in such an inhospitable and untamed land. Raven Rock was founded in 3rd era 427 by the East Empire Company in response to the discovery of a rich ebony mine on the southern edge of the island of Solstheim. Yeah, there's been some mentions of ebony. The construction of the town took several months, and the mine immediately started yielding ebony ore that the miners shipped to Windhelm in Skyrim. By 3rd era 432, the town was home to over 30 people, all of whom depended on the mine for their livelihood. At this time, Raven Rock was almost exclusively inhabited by Imperials and a few Nords who were drawn to the mine's wealth. When the Oblivion Crisis arose in 3rd era 433, Raven Rock remained largely untouched by Mehrunes Dagon's forces, and work continued as usual. The bulk of the Imperial Guard that was stationed in Raven Rock was recalled to Cyrodiil to fight the invading forces, but a few soldiers remained behind in order to protect the Ebony Mine from bandits. Cut. Yeah, doorbell rang. Family member visited, so I had to leave for a little bit, but I'm back. Just to let you know, but the video will carry on like normal. It's fine. Where were we? Oblivion Crisis. Untouched by Mehrunes Dagon's forces. Guard in Raven Rock was recalled to protect but a few soldiers remained to protect the Ebony Mine from bandits. Okay. It's uncertain whether any Oblivion gates ever opened on Solstheim, as there appears to be no record of such an event ever occurring there. In the first year of the Fourth Era after the destruction of Alderun, many of the Dunmer Great Houses sent out small groups of their own to seek places to re-establish themselves. House Redoran's group was led by Brora Morvain, who immediately struck out for Solstheim. After some quick negotiations with the East Empire Company and some speculate quite a bit of coin changing hands, Brora's group was allowed to settle in Raven Rock, where they quickly became a part of the mining colony's way of life. The Dunmer proved to be both hard-working and reliable when it came to working in the mines, impressing the East Empire Company and solidifying their relationship. All was going quite well until that fateful day, the Fourth Era at 5, when the Red Mountain suddenly erupted, sending a massive blast across the Sea of Ghosts that struck Solstheim with its full fury. Raven Rock was heavily damaged by this wave of force, which toppled several of its stone structures and obliterated many of the wooden ones. Ironically, the mine once again proved to be the town's saving grace, as most of the population of Raven Rock was working underground at the time, and was completely shielded from the blast. This event wasn't without cost, however. Raven Rock was heavily dependent on nearby Fort Frostmoth for its defense, but the eruption had almost completely wiped it from the face of Solstheim. The few soldiers that survived took residence in Raven Rock itself and attempted to set up a makeshift garrison there, but these scant few were hardly a match for potential threats to their town. With the East Empire Company's permission, Brora brought in some of House Redoran's elite Redoran Guard to fill the void. The Guard proved to be an ideal replacement for the fallen Imperial soldiers, and have been guarding the town ever since. Okay. Good to get a little bit of Raven Rock history, because I feel like we're going to be delving into it a little bit quite soon. I love that I'm just allowed to take all of this stuff.
My apologies for Cretius's ravings.
No need to apologize. I will just continue taking stuff, and all will be forgiven. Lives of a Saint. You have not read this? Let's read it. Lives of the Saints. If you would be wise, model your lives on the lives of the saints. If you would learn valor, follow Saint Nerevar, the captain, patron of warriors and statesmen. Lord Nerevar helped to unite the barbarian Dunmer tribes into a great nation, culminating in his martyrdom when leading the Dunmer to victory against the evil Dwemer and the traitorous House Dagoth in the Battle of Red Mountain. If you would learn daring, follow Saint Veloth, the pilgrim, patron of outcasts and spiritual seekers. Saint Veloth, prophet and mystic, led the Dunmer out of the decadent home country of the Somerset Isles and into the promised land of Morrowind. Saint Veloth also taught the difference between the good and bad Daedra, and won the aid of the good Daedra for his people while teaching how to carefully negotiate with the bad Daedra. And I guess good and bad Daedra can get sort of subjective at times. If you would learn generosity, follow Saint Realms the Barefooted, patron of pilgrims and beggars. Saint Realms gave away her shoes, then dressed and appeared as a beggar to better acquaint herself with the poor. Well, that's like one of those celebrities that, like, quote unquote, lives like a homeless person for a day, but then, like, they still have a lot of the luxuries they already have. If you would learn self-respect and respect for others, follow Saint Aralor the Penitent, patron of tanners and miners. This foul criminal repented his sins and travelled a circuit of his great pilgrimages on his knees. Alright. If you would learn mercy and its fruits, follow Saint Seren the Merciful, patron of brewers, bakers, distillers. This pure version of modest aspect could heal all diseases, at the price of taking the disease upon herself. Oh, Stendar must love him or her. Tough-minded and fearless, she took on the burdens of others and bore those burdens to an honoured old age. If you would learn fierce justice, follow St. Felms the Bold, patron of butchers and fishmongers. This brave warlord slew the Nord invaders and drove them from our land. He could neither read nor write, receiving inspiration directly from the lips of Alm Civi. If you would learn pride of race and tribe, follow St. Roris the Martyr, patron of furnishers and caravanners. Captured by Argonians just before the Arnesian War, Roris proudly refused to renounce the tribunal faith and withstood the cruel tortures of Argonian sorcerers. Vengeance and justice for the martyred St. Roris was the rallying cry of the Arnesian War. If you would learn the rule of law and justice, follow St. Olms the Just. Patron of chandlers and clerks, founder of the Ordinators, St. Olms conceived and articulated the fundamental principles of testing, ordeal, and repentance. If you would learn benevolence, follow St. Delin the Wise, patron of potters and glassmakers. St. Delin was a head of House Indoril, a skilled lawyer and author of many learned treatises on tribunal law and custom. If you would learn the love of peace, follow St. Maris the Peacemaker, patron of farmers and labourers. As a little girl, St. Maris showed healing gifts and trained as a healer. She ended a long and bloody house war, intervening on the battlefield in her white robe to heal warriors and spellcrafters, without regard to faction. The troops of all houses adopted white robes as their standard, and refused to shed the blood of their brethren. If you would learn reverence, follow St. Loftus the Pious, patron of tailors and dyers. Contemporary and companion of the tribunals, and the best-loved armor ruler of the tribunal temple, he formulated the central rituals and principles of the new temple faith. St. Loftus is the symbolic mortal bridge between the gods and the faithful, and the archetypal priest. Ooh. A Red Year, Volume 1. We have not read this. Okay. A Red Year Volume 1 by Melis Ravel. Forward. When I originally decided to write this accounting of a Red Year, I elected to travel across Morrowind and speak to the Dunmer people themselves. I sought first-hand accounts and personal views about the cataclysmic event. Or is this the eruption, I guess? I felt that if I simply did the research in the library stacks at the College of Winterhold, I wasn't really telling the tale that needed to be told. What struck me as I moved from city to city, town to town, camp to camp, is that all of the Dunmer I met shared an incredible bond of sheer courage and unshakable faith. So what began as a chronicle of one of the worst events in the history of Morrowind became something altogether different, a celebration of a people who can never be defeated. Dralin Ves, Tyr. The ground, it just turned into mush. There was almost no warning. I mean, we were what, perhaps a mile from the nearest swamps? It was like the swamp suddenly swallowed up half of the city. I asked him to describe what happened from the beginning. I owned a farm just outside of Tyr at the time. We were planting the next season's crops and getting ready to store what we had harvested. Everything was going well until the Red Mountain exploded. Until the Fire Nation attacked. Almost immediately, the ground rumbled and shook. Cracks started forming everywhere, and then the water just started seeping through. It was awful. In a matter of hours, I was knee-deep in swamp water, running for my life. Where I was running, I had no idea. At first, I ran towards the city itself, but it looked like the walls were cracking. All around me, people were desperately trying to save their livestock and their families from the rising water. Just when the ground shaking finally died down and I had a moment to think, there was a horrible cracking noise. I'll never forget it, because I knew what it was before I looked. The entire southern wall of Tyr collapsed, sending guards tumbling into the swamp. I heard people screaming as they were covered by the rubble and forced down into the water. Forgetting my own problems, I looked over at my fellow farmers, who were all staring at the carnage unfolding before us. Suddenly, we all just forgot our own problems and ran to help. There must have been hundreds of the poorer folks who lived outside of the walls, helping the richer ones who lived in the city. Never saw anything like that. I think we must have saved hundreds more that day. Neria Relafil, Nissus. Neria was badly burned by the eruption and had trouble speaking to me. She is currently convalescing at the Temple of Azura in Blacklight even after all these years. I've tried to record her story to the best of my ability. Oh yeah, the Dunmer, like, a lot of the Dunmer worship Azura, just, that's normal to them. Okay. It was such a terrible thing. The fire, it burned everything in its path. It flattened trees, turned our huts into splinters, and knocked over towers like they were made from parchment. It all happened in an instant, a rumbling sound, then a massive wall of flame. It was so high it blocked out the sun. I thought that the world itself had split apart. It passed over the water and turned into steam, vaporized everything it touched. When it finally hit us, I was blown off of my feet. Didn't even have time to run away or seek shelter. I ended up in the riverbed next to town, which kept some of the flames off of me. All around, could smell the charred stench of death. There were some that were burned alive, and some never even saw it coming. I lay in that riverbed for 2 days before the healers found me. When I could finally stand, Nissus was gone. There wasn't a thing left. It's as though it was wiped from the face of Tamriel. And don't they have, I think they have fire resist, don't they? If I remember right. I mean, that's not going to do much against a volcanic eruption, but still. That's what I pointed out. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay, barrels. Pickaxe, shovel. Iron ore. Oops, fish. And salt. Floating shovels, nice. Loads of pickaxes. Floating, but well, it's not a floating bucket. It's clearly being held by something. Okay, let's talk to. Let's talk to Afia Velothi. I'd like training in restoration magic.
I'll gladly share my knowledge with you.
Oh, I can't. I need to level up before training further. What were you arguing with Cressius about?
Foolish old man thinks he's 30 years younger than he is. He's going to get himself killed traipsing around the mine.
Why is he exploring the mine?
He's convinced himself that there's some sort of conspiracy involving the East Empire Company and the mine's closure. We came across some old letters that belonged to his great-grandfather in our house, and he believes every word written in them.
What do the letters say?
Cressius's great-grandfather worked for the East Empire Company. The letters mention some sort of discovery he was sent to investigate. There's really nothing remarkable in the letters. I don't know what he's so excited about.
Okay. Who was Cressius's great-grandfather?
Gratian Corellius. He was an explorer for the East Empire Company. They'd send him all over Tamriel when they had difficulties in a mining operation. Poor man. Can you imagine doing all that dangerous work just to end up dying at your own doorstep?
I imagine it every day. What happened to him?
There was a horrible accident, and he was killed when one of the tunnels collapsed. They were never even able to go down there and recover the body. The East Empire Company sealed that section off to prevent any more tragedies. Cressius is convinced it's a story cooked up by the company to cover up something else, but I don't know.
You don't agree with Cressius?
My beloved is almost 80 years old, and I think the shock of finding one of his ancestors' things has left his mind a bit...
So he's confused, so he's crazy, basically.
I love him dearly, and I support everything he does. But I can't let him chase this silly idea, or he may end up joining Gratian in a rocky grave.
I feel like this is where I'm going to end up going. How did you meet Cressius?
To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cressius is a third-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cressius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard.
Why didn't he move somewhere else to find work?
Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories.
Fair.
Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out.
This is where you met?
It was. After refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cressius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body.
He was very
I stayed
grateful.
for a while and cared for him, then... I suppose we fell in love.
You suppose? You're a priest at the temple?
Far from it. In fact, I'm no longer welcome there.
Why?
In all honesty, it came down to a disagreement between what I believe and what Elder Othraloth believes. I'd prefer not to get into the details, but but let's just say our opinions about the current status of the tribunal vary widely.
Okay.
Be careful out there.
Good talk, Afia. Oh, there's some more boots here. Almost missed that. I want a bucket.
Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy?
Yeah, you look very busy, Cretius. But can you spare just a moment to return this pickaxe?
Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy?
Yeah. Busy doing what?
Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are.
Perhaps I could help.
Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But
Yeah.
mark my words. these
Your
mines
wife
hold
too.
a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map.
Oh, that's a quest. The final descent. Speak to Cretius Graves. Well, while we're here, what sort of a secret would be hidden here?
A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine.
Who's your great-grandfather?
Gratian Kyrelius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel. And he died in these very mines almost 200 years ago.
Yeah, your wife kind of told me. How did he die?
The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall. But I know better.
What's your proof?
My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key.
What did the letter say?
It describes a discovery that was made in the mine by some of the diggers. They wanted Gratian to take a closer look. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else.
The key is to the locked section?
It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance.
Oh, I bet I could find it. This is hardly proof of anything. I admit this does sound suspicious. I still think you're crazy. Should we humour him? I mean, I don't really know. I can't tell. I haven't read the letter or anything. Let's humour him. I admit, this does sound suspicious.
Finally, someone who believes me. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone.
Why are you telling me all of this?
Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines.
I mean, I asked
my
him.
story.
I offered to help.
Time's
That's
my
why
enemy.
he's telling me.
It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for.
So you do need my help.
I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company's keeping from all of us.
Any idea of where to start?
Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please, do this for me, so I can finally regain the respect that I've lost.
Alright, you got it, Cretius. Raven Rock Mine Key, Gratian's key, retrieve Gratian Corellius' journal. Okay, are you sure Gratian's death wasn't an accident?
Look, I know I don't have much to go on. I have that unsent letter, and that's really it. But I also have a miner's instinct that's run in my family from before Gratian was even born. I may sound like a crazy old man to you, but I'm telling you, the tunnels here are solid. They would never collapse like that.
Okay, fair enough. Why were you arguing with Afia? I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point.
She thinks that old age has addled my mind, that I'm seeing things when there's nothing to be seen. I realize she cares about me, but she has to understand that I can't rest until I find out what happened to Gratian.
What if she's right and I don't find anything? Well, then there's nothing lost really. We investigated and it didn't turn up. That's just how investigations go.
Then I'll settle down peacefully
Yeah.
and never set foot in this mine again. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, even before I discovered Gratian.
Yeah, I'm with you, old man, on that one. That was a weird
You
question. 'Cause-
don't mistake my enthusiasm for insanity.
Alright, and now to actually complete our quest, hopefully. Glover wants his ancient Nordic pickaxe back.
The damn fool doesn't even deserve to have it. The pickaxe was made for mining, not selling. I'll bet he stole it from the Skald in the first place.
Probably. It doesn't belong to you, fine, you keep it. Let me think about this. It doesn't belong to you. I mean, stealing from a thief doesn't make you any better.
Oh, very well. Here. Tell him I hope he drops the thing on his foot.
Alright, well, there we go. So that was simple enough.
Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Okay, let's have a look at the pickaxe. It's just a pickaxe with some things going to it. It does 22 damage. How much does a regular pickaxe do? Oh, also 22. I got excited there. My one-handed's too strong now, so everything does more damage, I guess. Let's read that letter as well. What was it called? Gratian's letter. Gratian, I would appreciate if you could help us with a situation we've encountered in Raven Rock. It seems that the miners there have stumbled across some sort of ruins under the surface near Shaft 3, and we need your expertise to take a look. I could send someone else if you're busy. I figured you'd want to go since I seem to recall that you're originally from Solstheim. Let us know if you make any progress. Rentalus Vandarian, East Empire Company, Imperial City, Cyrodiil. Okay. Some sort of ruins. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for that
Why
pickaxe.
you're leading Cretius on, I'll never understand.
Oh, do you have more to say now? Oh, I'm guessing you don't agree with Cretius' story.
Cretius is aging, and I believe it's addled his mind. As the years have passed, it's gotten worse. He's become obsessed with his theories of conspiracy.
Well, if I investigate it and nothing happens, then that's it. Don't worry about it, man. I'll look, even if there's nothing there. And where's his great-grandfather?
I'm sure he's down there somewhere, buried under a mountain of rubble like the East Empire Company claims.
And why can I not find
My
him?
greatest fear is that my stubborn mule of a husband will end up suffering the same.
Well, I'm going there in his place, so you don't have to worry, Afia. Just
Be careful out there.
relax. Okay, upstairs. There's a grindstone, another shovel. Oh, there's some pickaxes. The Poison Song, Book 3. I feel like we read all of these, or at least most of them. Yeah, 1 to 7. Pick it up. Ooh, a little strongbox. Oh, that's locked. Okay, I don't want to steal. Okay, let's go down here.
Try the lower sections of the mine. I've never been able to get that far.
Really? There's a ladder leading to it.
Why you're leading Cretius on, I'll never understand.
Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Oh damn, there's a lot to this place. I thought there was going to be like a door like leading to another section, but looks like this is it. This is Raven Rock Mine. Okay. Well, let's have some fun and explore. Maybe we end up doing this quest while we're at it. We can get Glover his pickaxe at any point, really. Okay, just making sure I'm leaving no stone unturned. In fact, I'm gonna get my weapons out just in case here. I do hear some. Ah, there you go. Skeevar! Dead person. Well, there's one dead person. Was that your great-granddad? I'm gonna assume not. Huh? Okay. Oh, plate. Iron ore. I guess this may have been like an ebony ebony ore that got mined. Oh, I missed the tankard. Oh. Okay. There's quite a few different sections here. Do our best to explore them all. Do we come from here? Oh no, we came from... People, please. Just... We came from here, turn left. Okay, let's go this way now. A lot of webbing. I'm anticipating spider conflict. That's a different kind of shovel. Ah. Would you look at that, a spider. Yeah, this is just another depleted ebony vein. Vein, is that the right word? Or is it? I've mined so many of them. They're called ores, I think. What are they called? Okay. So that's this area done. Let's go. Yeah. Still further to go down. Well, if you ever need shovels and pickaxes for whatever reason, this is a good place to go. This is the East Empire Company logo, isn't it? I've seen that quite a bit. I do see you, spider, don't worry. We're gonna get very well acquainted. Our pickaxe. Oh, another spider. Three gold as well. It's not one of those breakable spider webs. Is that not a sneak attack? Yeah, whatever. Onwards we go. Oh. That scared me. Okay. I assume I can break through this. Pickaxe. East Empire Company strongbox. Does this count as stealing? I'm quick saving it anyway, but I don't think it's stealing. I don't want it to be stealing, so it's not stealing. Lock pickings, our level up 2. It is a level up 2. Yeah, we're level 40 now. Nice. And that's some good loot. Ooh, an East Empire pendant. That's going to help us in an upcoming quest as well. Those are in very limited supply, so I'm glad we found one. I mean, in truth, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. We'll get to that when we get to it. What was I gonna... I was gonna check something. Oh yeah, level up. Right. Let's get some health. Like I said a few episodes ago, we are a bit too squishy for my liking at the moment. So let's get some health. As for what we want to upgrade... It's one-handed saying. Swords... Yeah. I think we want to get... Now that we have a sword, we definitely want to increase the crit damage. Have we already got this? Okay. There we go. Extra crit chance. We love it. And we got given the key to this, so we wouldn't have been able to access this before. There we go. So this part is the never before accessed area. The key. So unless we talk to Cresius, we would not have been able to go down here. So are we going to find his pop? His great pop? This looks Nordic ruiny. Sure, I'm using the technical term there. Ooh. Oh, there are some living Draugr in here. Oh, I say living, you know, loose, very loose representation. Oh, you're a scourge. Oh, and we've broken the rest of the guys. Hulking Draugr. Never seen a hulking Draugr before. Regular Draugr, yeah, I eat you for breakfast. Should have noticed the helmet. Just some of the Draugrs, though, regular Draugrs, also just have helmets. Dented iron shield. I've never seen a dented iron shield before. Okay. Something tells me we're going... Ooh, there's a secret urn. Can't afford to miss urns. Oh, we can, but... Oh, wait, we came from... up here. Oh, we went right first, didn't we? Yeah, okay. Scourge. Yeah, this mist is making it hard to see what we can loot. Where's the pressure plate? There was a trap here. Maybe not. Oh, here. Ah, there. Under the water. Damn it, Faendal. Please stop embarrassing yourself. That guy's gonna kill himself. Okay, came from here. Right, going this way. Don't worry, I see you, chest. Ooh, ebony battle axe. Pretty cool. Okay. Oh, wait. What's this way? Oh, we have to go further forward. Follow me, Faendal. Like, go around it. Oh, you made it. Awesome. Good job. Okay, so there are Draugr knocking about in this mine. Is this what the East Empire Company was trying to hide? Already dead Draugr, which means we get jewels from it. Thank you. Ooh. This looks like a tough fight. These are like boss level Draugr. Two of them. Oh, I think at least one of them is. Oh, that was just a restless one. Oh, you're dead. Ooh, ebony sword. Ooh, ebony sword. Oh no, that's not as good. Ebony mace is way better apparently. Still take it. Time to switch to our boots of hauling. Soon we will have to be donating to Faendal though. Do you want an ebony sword, Faendal? I feel like you'd probably want an ebony sword. Ooh, burial there. Hidden diamond. Literally. Yeah, they're hiding things in the dark, they're hiding things like underneath like debris. I probably missed a couple of things already. So I'll keep my eye out. Flawless emerald, you gotta love it. Empty urn, that's not fair. Flawless ruby. Okay, once. Oh, that was a scourge. Okay, on with the Thieves Guild armor. Elven sword, emerald, onyx, gold. Don't cough, Faendal, you'll give away our position. Restrain yourself. Okay, I think we've covered most everything so far. Just watching my flanks to see if there's any Draugr that can. I'm impressed that Faendal's remaining undetected. Is his sneak skill increasing here? Is sneaking with us made him better at sneaking? I know, like followers like level up with you. In a sense.
What do you want me to carry?
At least that's I believe it's something like that. Oh, well, you can have the battle axe.
Let's get going then.
Jewels. Crazy, but this is all the same area as Raven Rock Mine. They didn't like separate them. Oh. Restless Draugr down. Oh, detected. I did expect there to be more than one in this room, but there's quite a few. We're in a big old fight here. Why are my hits not working? Take that. You're already dead. Dented iron shield. What is with these hulking Draugrs and their dented shields? See, these guys knew to just stay in their seats and everything will be fine. These Draugr were the smart ones. Alright, well. There's a lot of loot to be had. Let's... yeah. I feel like pickaxes are our obvious, way too heavy items that we can drop. Maybe I didn't need to drop that many, but whatever. I'm sure we'll end up picking up more stuff from these guys. Well, not... you know what I mean. Ooh, yeah, there's a chest over here. Master lock. First try. Diamond, ruby, gold, extreme magicka, cool to arms. Necklace. Daedric armor of peerless health. Increase health by 70 points. Pretty good. Shame it's heavy and Daedric, but... Staff of banishing. Weaker summon Daedra are sent back to Oblivion. Alright, that's a pretty good haul. Let's drop more pickaxes. Say 4 more. Is there anything else worth anything? Right. Alright, that looks like a trap. Because there's a soul gem. And I know some of these traps can like one-shot you, so I'm... oh. Maybe it's not a trap. Okay. Ooh, common soul gem. Obtained. More Draugrs sitting around. Wake up! Oh, you're not alive. Cool. I'll just grab your stuff then. Have a pickaxe. Or 2. Okay, plentiful stamina, amethyst ring. I love how every already dead Draugr just gives you guaranteed jewels. I say it so often, maybe I should be quiet, but so much money just from doing that Stones of Baron's Eye quest early. And I know I don't have that money right now, but it's there whenever I want it, basically. What was I going to do? Pickaxe, right. But we do want to keep one. Lantern. Shovels, I guess, would be next up. Or hammer as well. Alright, shovels. Can go. Ruined book. Oh, alright. Well, what the heck is this? Skyrim deposit. I should probably check if this guy's alive. He's dead. Cross Miriam, Death Bell, Grand Soul Gem, Solution Strength, Paralysis Poison, Vampire Dust. It's an alchemy section? Yeah, there's an alchemy lab. Right there. Oh. Arrows, more jewels. Great. I don't think we've ever mined a Skyrim deposit before. This is like one of the rare jewels, isn't it? In Solstheim. And I think we could only mine them with the ancient Nord pickaxes. So it's good that we picked one up. Is this infinite? Oh no, it's not. Oh look, there's a Draugr underneath it. That's great. That's our reward for mining Skyrim. We get diamond, garnet, ruby, and gold. I don't know if we have had Skyrim before. It's 200 gold per pot, so that's very valuable indeed. Have some more shovels. Okay, alchemy lab. Boar tusk, fire salts, lunar moth wing, ash creep cluster, spawn ash, void salts, potion of water walking, another embalming tool. Ooh, neck jelly. Let's grab some of that. Ash and grass pod. Cave craw, frost salts, embalming tool. Regular tongue, embalming tool. Bring them off, yep. Let's get our alchemy helmet on and let's cook some stuff up. Oh, actually, there is one thing I want to do first. Because some of these ingredients we might not actually know about already. Neck jelly. Do we have neck jelly back at home? Yes. So we can eat this. We have paralyzed ourselves. Cool. Alright, everything else we knew about. It's a quick paralysis, you know, the life of an alchemist. Sometimes you just gotta incapacitate yourself. Alright, let's make some stuff. Alchemy up. Sorry, Mallory. Cool. Oh, that's still too much. Shovel's done. Ancient Nord weapons, I guess. That can go. What about apparel? Okay, weapons. We'll get rid of the Ancient Nord. War Axe. Press onward. Now that is what I was worried about. That scared the daylight out of me. Also got something's attention. Right, let's save it. Let's wait for stuff to regenerate. Is it as soon as it sees me, or is it when I step in? Oh, what? I can't shout? Oh, that didn't work. Alright. There we go. Almost died, but disarmed the traps. Save again, just in case something else blows us up around the corner. Ah, there's a Draugr walking around up there. It may have noticed us. Oh well, this Death Lord looks like it may have noticed us. Oh, well, we're detected now. And we're already wounded. Okay. I think it would be wise to do some healing. May hurt. And I'm getting Rodar spams. Alright, nice job. Good sniping, Faendal. Okay, so like that was like what, 3 Death Lords and a Scourge? And we came into that fight with low health. I'll take that. And I think the sword is probably worse. Ooh, Ebony Vorax. 61, same as my Daedric sword. Do I want a sword or a Vorax more? I feel like I've already made this decision before, and I went with the sword. So we'll stick with the sword. Alright, is there a secret behind the waterfall? Oh, there is. Godscale Barrow, Apprentice Lock. Okay, well we're not, funnily enough, we're not actually going to go that deep to explore like brand new areas. But good to know that they've hidden something there. I mean, I guess the map probably would have hinted to it anyway. Okay, there's a gate here which presumably opens remotely. Is that closed? Is that going to bust open? Probably would have done earlier. Always wary of anything that could be a trap. Okay, gate opened. Oh, don't want that jug. Cane enchanter, water walking, steel sword. And a chest. I'm not sure how this chest is actually going to open. I guess there's a little bit of space. Thank you. And for the next adventurer, I leave a honed Draga Vorax. Enjoy. Wait, does this mean you'll teach us more?
By my honor, I pledge to rid Tamriel of dragons.
Okay, we can't ask for training right now. Sure. What's this area? Is this something I've missed, or is this like the exit? Oh, that looks like a trap. Does it not? Spell tome ice spike. Okay. I'm not dead. I already know ice spike, but maybe we didn't have that as an item. Am I tall enough? No. Maybe we'll just have to set that trap off when we get to it. Ooh, haha, you thought I would miss that. I have a honed ancient Nord mace instead. Anything else under here? Does not appear so. I mean, that was plenty, an urn and some gold. And, well, and a chest, sorry. Arrows. Is this hinting at some sort of puzzle? Ah. Hi there. Okay. Oh, that can hit me. Okay, that's how much damage it does. Oh, there's a scroll of fireball. I guess that's a... Oh yeah, they probably put the bow and arrow there to hint that you could disarm the trap from a distance. I'm gonna be daring, and I'm gonna try and run for this. Okay. I mean, it wasn't that daring. Like, yeah. Okay, nothing over there. Wrap, carving tool, frost salts. Ooh. Are these coffins about to break? Two paths. Oh, nothing broke, but there was a pressure plate which I missed. Fair play game. Okay, I just wanted to see. Oh, there's multiple pressure plates here. Let's go this way first. Ooh. That looks very interesting. I don't know what that is. I drop down. It looks like the only way down there. Now let's retreat and go back to that other door, because it doesn't look like there's a way back if we drop down there, or at least not a convenient one. Alright, it is just a chest. Nice. Let's double check there's nothing else in here. Sometimes they hide little extras. I've noticed that especially in this quest or this area. How far we've gone. Alright, we'll save it here. I feel like we're supposed to drop, but then how do we get out once we drop? Whatever. What is that?
Wow. Would you look at that?
Yeah, no kidding. That's crazy. All these, like, glowing runes. What is that red line? And well, we found Gratian. So this doesn't look like he was crushed by rubble to me. Gold lockpick. Gratian's journal. Bloodscowl blade. Ooh, this looks like the walls. Releases energy blast with power attacks that deals 30 damage. Energy blast. Interesting. We're obviously taking all of that. Escape Bloodscowl Barrow. Escape? Are we in trouble? Uh-oh. Oh dear. What have we stepped into? Alright, we've got to give away some stuff. So, gloves, hat. Oh, we've already had our carry weight. Let's read the book. Gratian's Journal. 30 Rain's Hand, 4th Era 10. Received a letter from the East Empire Company today. They say that some of the miners broke through the wall in Shaft 3 of Raven Rock Mine and found some ruins. I hope this isn't another waste of time like that fiasco they sent me to in Cyrodiil. I'll gather my assistant, Milius, and sail back to Raven Rock at first light. It'll be nice to see the old house in Solstheim again. He drew a picture of a East Empire Company logo. How cute. 7 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. Finally arrived in Raven Rock and was surprised at the number of Dark Elf refugees living in town. They aren't really from mining stock, but I think they'll make fine workers one day. Milius and I spent a good part of the day clearing the ash off the roof of my house. The damn volcano is still erupting almost day and night. If it wasn't for the ash covering everything, it would almost look beautiful. 8 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. Milius and I are headed into Raven Rock Mine to have a look at whatever it is the mine has uncovered. I think I'll stop by the old swing and scoop and pick up a few supplies before we head down. Couldn't hurt to be prepared. 9 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. Looks like the miners broke right through the wall of an old Nordic barrow. I've seen this sort of thing in Skyrim before. Damn Nords have barrows dotting the landscape and almost none of them are ever marked on any maps. Looks like this barrow belonged to something called the Bloodskull clan. I'm going to take some rubbings of the inscriptions of the tombs and see if I can't learn some more information from my history books. 10 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. It's been a few days, and I can't find even a single mention of this clan anywhere. Milius and I decided to proceed ahead. We've come to a drop-down point, but I can see a massive chamber below. Took the better part of a day to lower everything down and climb down the almost sheer drop. So he's about where we are. 11 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. It's been an astonishing day of discovery. After exploring the large chamber beyond the drop-off, I was startled to find the strangest weapon I've ever laid eyes upon sitting on a pedestal of sorts. The blade appears to be flawless, and is emitting a faint chilling glow. Bits of parchment I found about the chamber seem to call this a Bloodskull blade. Not certain if I should remove it yet. I think I'll sleep on it. Well, he did remove it because it was on his body. And look, that's a really good drawing. He should have taken up art. Would have been a much safer career choice. 12 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. I decided against my own better judgment to remove a Bloodskull blade from its pedestal. Milius seems completely against it, but we need to bring this wondrous artifact with us when we find a way out of the barrow. 13 Second Seed, 4th Era 10. I should have listened to Milius. The moment the blade was lifted, we were set upon by Draugr. Milius fought bravely, but he fell. I was able to destroy the remaining ones, but I was badly wounded. I could barely stand. My only chance would be finding a way out of this place, but I fear that I'm trapped. 14? Question mark? Second Seed, 4th Era 10. Exploring has been slow. I can only move for maybe a few minutes at a time before I have to rest. My supplies are running low and I'm feeling weaker by the hour. The only progress I've made is finding a strange door with markings on it that I've never seen. There appears to be something to them I'm missing, as they've confounded my attempts at getting through. I have to study this further in order to make any progress. Barely can keep awake. I'm fairly certain that the key to the door involves the use of a Bloodskull blade. When swinging the weapon, I'm noticing a ribbon of mystical energy emanating from it. I think by swinging the sword in different directions, it's possible to manipulate this ribbon and solve whatever puzzle this door presents. I hope to get well enough to put this to the test soon. Each swing is a huge effort. Okay, swinging the sword in different directions. Okay, I have to investigate that. Last entry. Well, he knew he was going to die, I guess. I've lost track of time and my strength is fading. I can't even stand anymore. My wounds refuse to heal. I'm afraid this tomb will become my resting place. If anyone finds this journal, please send these notes to my superiors of the East Empire Company and tell my wife that I love her. May Arcade guide me to my final rest. Oh, sorry. The exploration didn't go too well there, buddy. So I guess this door is like the secret. Okay. He wasn't able to figure it out. Let's hope that we're able to, because I'm guessing this is the only way out of here. Let's explore the rest of this place. See if there aren't any other clues. Or hidden treasures. Here's some Draugr. Oh, there's a chest. Ebony arrows, false ruby gold, iron magica, lovely. So that's it. Yeah, there's no way back up. I think. Is there? Give it a try. I'm getting dizzy. Okay, there's no way out there. I don't know why I'm bothering. Alright, oh, Milius. Another Draugr. Yep, nothing consequence, really. Okay. Ooh. Beautiful skeleton. Right. Almost missed out on some jewels there. Right. Ancient bow. Okay, we need the blood scalp blade for this one. It's under 4. Iron mace is under 3. I think we'll leave that. Corpse. Gold. Okay, when I have the blade out, it lights up. When I go to the left, it's light. Oh, even in the middle though, it lights up. Or like here. Creation that I could use some more hints, friend. Let's have a look at that journal again. There appears to be something to them we're missing. Fairly certain that the key to the door involves the use when swinging the weapon. I think by swinging the sword in different directions it's possible to manipulate this rhythm and solve whatever puzzle this door presents. Okay. Swing the sword in different directions. Oh. Okay. This isn't working. I keep spamming at this. No. Wait, what's this? Is that moving because I made it move? Or what? How would anyone have been able to figure that out normally? Wait, that's... what else do I have to do? Oh, okay, we just need to get all of these. Oh, sorry, Fana. Yeah. Alright, I think we figured out the puzzle, sort of. Yeah, our only way out of here is forward, so let's keep going, I guess. So, is that the end of this, like, the quest to find out what happened to his great-granddad? Well, I have to escape, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay. This looks very hard for a follower to avoid. Oh. I ran into it, but... oh, Faendal. Come on, buddy. Alright, you're sort of on the other side. It's going to be a while before he catches up. Does this shut down the trap? Alright, Faendal. Oh, it only temporarily does it. We'll just keep going and he'll get to us when he gets to us. This looks like a boss fight kind of room, wouldn't you say? There's a room here as well. Bloodscale Barrow, which we could have gone to before through that waterfall, but we chose not to. Maybe we do have to go there. Hold off on exploring that area for now, but let's remember it's there. There's a word. Oh! There's a whole dragon priest. Okay then. You never know what you're gonna get with these guys. Are you a peaceful dragon priest? Oh, no. Oh god. You do some damage, sir. Oh god. Where did you go? Any items? Any food? There we go. Znakrizos is no more. Let's see. Shock resistance 50%. Well, that would have been helpful against him, and extra shock damage. I mean, it's cool. It's heavy armor and it has stuff I don't really care about. But is this literally him? I guess so. Alright, what happened to Faendal? Is he still struggling with the doors? Not the doors. Oh, there he is. Okay, nothing too crazy in the water. 2 gold in that master looking chest. Come on, man. That's a troll. Like the boss fight room, big chest in the middle, and you got 2 gold in it. At my level. That is insulting. Alright, seeing if there's anything hidden around these bends. I do notice the word wall there. And there's a little broken off part. I wonder if it's possible to get over there. Give it a go. Probably not. Alright, what word have you got for me? Learn all 3 words of dragon aspect. Ooh. Worm dragon aspect. Strength armor worm. Once a day, take on the mighty aspect of a dragon, delivering colossal blows with an armored hide and more powerful shouts. Maybe one I should try more when I'm in like really tough fights. Because it's just a boost. Like a once a day boost. Can you get up there? There's probably nothing up there anyway. I didn't open that, did I? What the heck was that sound? Paindle, I'm scared. Black book. Oh, it's a Hermaeus Mora book. Oh no. Let's loot this room first, and then we'll grab it. Did the books always make those sounds? Maybe they did. That's a soul gem. I'm trying to get the soul gem. Yeah. Okay, got steel plate boots, bowl. Okay, what were we dropping? Iron mace, I think. Right, 4, I think. Oh, even this, with only 2 dented iron shields, we can drop one. Alright, let's save. Black book. We don't actually get to read it, which is kind of sad.
What are you doing?
Started. Black book, the winds of change. I can't... Is it in my inventory now? Yeah, so I think if I die here, I can come back later, is what I'm thinking. Let's make another save. Because we don't want to do that just yet. Okay, we get to keep the book. We can explore that later. But it's cool that we found a black book here. For sure. Alright, I guess the only way out of here is to go to Bloodskull Barrow. So let's do that.
Huh?
The map is not very helpful. Or is this it? Reaver Lord. You guys are bandits.
Less chance of an axe in your skull.
Okay. Holds of Skyrim. Have we read that? I feel like we've probably read that. Sounds like a pretty standard book. Yes.
Lloyd, darling, that brat ain't mine. Could be anyone's. It was rusty septic for me.
Upward. I feel like these guys are probably going to be aggro. You know what? We're going to give them a chance. Let's just double check.
I knew it.
Okay, they are not my friends.
Die, outlander! Filthy wow!
Alright, we got the clear sound when we killed the Reaver Lord, so I guess he was the final boss as opposed to, I don't know, the Dragon Priest we just fought. Oh cool, we've wait, this is the way forward. I did see the guy there. We'll deal with him in due time. So we came from here. Okay. Let's fully explore as much as we can. Some free fish. I don't want that leak. Alright, we'll take the basket, but dropping it as soon as we have a chance. Ash, yeah. Screw it, we'll take this basket too. We'll take the wine. Valuable bowl. Very valuable plate. What to put on my... let's get everything in this area first, and then we'll start doing some stuff. See, we've got more fish here, more salt. Cooking pot we can use. Coin purse. Oh, there's some books here. Oh, probably haven't read a lot of these, so we might be in for another reading session here. Which is fine with me. Bone Part 1. Let's see. Oh, we've read Part 1. Okay. But we have not read Part 2. So let's read Bone Part 2 by Tabby Dromio. What do you mean the story gets more appalling? Garaz was incredulous. How in Boethiah's name could it get more appalling? It's a ruse, Shamara scoffed, ordering 2 more mugs of grief and a glass of Flynn for Garaz. How much worse can a tale get which prominently features cannibalism, abuse of slaves, and irregular placement of rotting animal carcasses? Don't you dare me, growled Halgerd, annoyed by his listener's lack of appreciation of his prose styling. Remind me where we were. Arslick Owen is the owner of a stronghold under siege by savage cannibalistic Nords, said Jamara, keeping a straight face. After a lot of deaths and several unsuccessful attempts to get water, he had his armourer with the unlikely name of Gorkif outfit his slaves with the first ever bone mold armour. One of them finally makes it back with some water. It was only 1 jar full of water, said Halgerd, pulling back in his chair and continuing the tale, and Arslick Owen drank most of it, passing the remains to his dear armourer Gorkif and the last dribbles to the few dozen slaves who still lived. It was hardly enough to sustain health and well-being. Another expedition was necessary, but they had only 1 suit of bone mold left, as there was only 1 survivor of the trip. 1 out of 18 slaves made it through the gauntlet of Nords wearing that marvellous bone mold armour of yours, said Arslick Owen to Gorkif, and 1 can only carry back enough water for 1. Therefore, mathematically, as we have, counting you and me, 56 remaining people at the stronghold, we need armour for 54. Since we already have 1, you only need to make 53 to make the total. That way, 3 will make it back, with enough water for you and me and whoever's in the best condition to partake. I don't know what we'll do after that, but if we wait, we won't have enough slaves to fetch even a couple days' worth of water. I understand, whimpered Gorkif, but how am I going to make the armour? I used all the livestock bones to make the first batch of bone mold. Arslick Owen gave an order which Gorkif fearfully complied with. In 18 hours, are they killing people? Is that what's going to happen? What do you mean, Arslick Owen gave an order which Gorkif fearfully complied with? Asked Yamara. What was the order? All will be clear, smiled Halgerd. I have to choose what to reveal and what to conceal, such is the way of a tale-teller. I think I figured it out, though. In 18 hours, Gorkif had 53 suits of bone mail, said Halgerd, continuing, not really minding the interruption, prepared for the slaves. Without prompting, he ordered the slaves to practice using the armour and even allowed them more training time than their predecessors. They not only learned how to move and stop quickly in bone mold, but how to adjust their peripheral vision to see a blow before it came, and to sway to dodge, and where the sturdiest reinforcement points on the arm were, the centre of the chest and the abdomen, and how to position themselves to take blows there, against their natural instincts. The slaves even had time for a mock battle before being sent out among the cannibals. The slaves handled themselves admirably. Very few, just 15 slaves, were killed and eaten outright. Only 10 were killed and eaten when they reached the river. That was when things did not go according to Arslick Owen's plans. 21 slaves with jars of water took off for the hills. Only 8 returned to the castle, largely because they were blocked by the cannibal Nords. It was a larger percentage than he had anticipated surviving, but Arslick Owen felt righteous indignation at the paucity of loyalty. Are you absolutely certain you wouldn't rather flee? He hollered from the battlements. Finally he allowed the survivors in. 3 had been killed waiting for the gate to open. 2 more died almost upon stepping into the courtyard. 1 was delirious, walking around in circles, laughing and dancing before suddenly collapsing. That meant 5 jars of water for 4 people, the 2 surviving slaves, Arslick Owen and Gorkif. As the lord of the manor, Arslick Owen took the extra jar, but he was democratic with the others. He just realised his name is Arslick. What an unfortunate name. You're quite correct, frowned Garaz. This story is getting more and more appalling. Just wait, smiled Halgerd. The next morning, Halgerd continued, Arslick Owen awoke to a perfectly still and quiet stronghold. There was no murmuring in the corridors, no sound of hard labour in the courtyard. He dressed and surveyed the scene. It appeared that the fortress was utterly deserted. Arslick Owen walked down to the armourer's quarters, but the door was locked. Open up, said Arslick Owen patiently. We need to speak. 30 out of 54 slaves successfully made it to the river and gathered water. Admittedly, some then fled and a couple didn't survive because I needed to correct their fickleness, but mathematically that's a 55% survival rate. If you and I and the 2 remaining slaves made the next run to the river, we too should survive. Zillion and Gello left last night with their armor, cried Gorklif through the door. Who are Zillion and Gello? The two remaining slaves. They don't remain any more. Well, that's vexing, said Arslick Owen. Still, we must continue on. Mathematically, I heard something last night, whimpered Gorklif in a funny voice, like footsteps, only different, and they were moving through the walls, and there were voices too. They sounded strange, like they couldn't move their jaws very well, but I knew one. Arslick Owen sighed, humouring his poor armourer. And who was it? Ponic. And who is Ponic? One of the slaves that died when the Nords poisoned our water. One of the many slaves that died, and we made use of. Must be making the armor then. He was always a nice, uncomplaining fellow. That's why I noticed his voice above all the others. Gorklik began to sob. I understood what he was saying. Which was what? Asked Arslick Owen with a sigh. Give me back my bones! Gorklif's voice shrieked. There was silence for a moment, and then more hysterical sobbing. I saw that coming, laughed Shamara. Yeah. It wasn't the most subtle twist. There was nothing more to be done with the armour for the time being, said Halgerd, a trifle annoyed at the regular interruptions, so Arslick Owen stripped one of the dead slaves of his suit of bone mould and put it on. He practised in the courtyard, impressing himself with his natural comfortably with medium-weight armour. For hours he boxed, feinted, dodged, sprinted, skipped, jumped, and generally cavorted about. When he felt tired, he retired to the shade and took a nap. The sound of the king's trumpet woke him with a start. Night had fallen, and for a moment he thought he had been dreaming. Then the alarum sounded again, far in the distance but clear. Arslick Owen leapt to his feet and ran to the ramparts. Several miles away he could see the emissaries and their vast and well-armed escort approached. They were there early. The cannibal Nords below looked at one another with consternation. Savages they might be, but they knew when a superior force was approaching. Arslick Owen joyously dashed down the stairs to Gorklif's chamber. The door was still locked. He beat on it, cajoling, demanding, threatening. Finally he found a key, one of a few scraps of metal that had not been smelted days before. Gorklif appeared to be sleeping, but as Arslick Owen approached, he noticed that the armourer's mouth and eyes were wide open, and his arms were folded unnaturally behind his back. On closer inspection, the armourer was obviously dead. What was more, his face and whole body were sunken, like an empty pig's bladder. Something moved through the walls like a footfall, only squishy. Arslick Owen expertly and gracefully turned to face it, completely in balance. At first it seemed like nothing more than a bubble expanding through one of the cracks in the stone. As more of a flesh-coloured gelatinous matter emerged, it more clearly resembled part of a face. A flaccid, almost shapeless face with a low brow and a slack, toothless jaw. The rest of the body oozed out of a crack, a soft bag of muscle and blood. Behind Arslick Owen and to the side there was more movement, more slaves welling up through the cracks in the stone. They were all around him, reaching out. Give us, moaned Ponic, his tongue rolling about his hanging jaw. Give us back our bones. Arslick Owen began to rip off his bone mould, throwing it to the floor. 100 figures more pooled into the small chamber. That's not enough. The cannibals had cleared away by the time the king's emissaries arrived at Arslick Owen's gates. They had not been looking forward to this visit. It was best, they thought philosophically, to begin with the worst of the king's noblemen, so to end their trip well. They sounded the alarum once again, but the gates did not open. There was no sound from Arslick Owen's stronghold. It took a few hours to gain access. If the emissaries had not brought a professional acrobat with them for entertainment, it might have taken longer. The place seemed to be abandoned. They searched every room, until finally they came to the armourer's. There they found the master of the manor folded neatly, legs behind his head, arms behind the legs, like a fine gown, not a bone in his body. Oh, they took all the bones. The first part of your story was complete nonsense, cried Shamara, but now it doesn't hold true on any level. How could bone mold be made again if the armourer who invented it died before he could tell anyone how he did it? I said that this was the first time it was created, not the first time people learned the craft. And when did someone first teach someone else the craft? Asked Karaz. That, my friends, replied Halgerd with a sinister smile, is a tale for another night. I guess that'll be Volume 3. The Axeman. Have we read The Axeman? No, we have not. The Axeman, a surprising way to become proficient with an axe. Of all the members of the Morak Tong I've spoken with, none disturbed me as much as Minas Torek. quiet and reserved man who never drank, and never visited a brothel, or even uttered a curse. He was famous for his ability to make people disappear. Once a person was targeted by the Brotherhood, and Torek was sent to them, they would simply cease to be. I asked him once what his weapon of choice was, and was equally startled by his answer. "I only likes to use axes," he said in his typical quiet voice. The image of his silent, dour fellow attacking anyone with a weapon as inherently bloody and violent as an axe so frightened and intrigued me that I questioned him about it further. This is an inherently dangerous activity, for assassins are not typically keen to give out their stories. Torek did not mind the questions, though it took some time to get the full story out of him, as naturally shy and reserved as he was. It seemed that Torek had been orphaned at a very young age and sent to live with his uncle, a sultrous plantation owner in Sheogorad. It's a weird name for a place. In northern Vardenfell. The man promised to show his nephew the business and eventually make him a partner when he was old enough. In the meantime, the boy was put to work as his uncle's house servant. It was a grueling life, as the old man was very particular about how things should be done. The boy was first required to give all the floors in the house a thorough scouring, from the attic to the cellar. Whenever the floor was not clean to the uncle's satisfaction, which was frequent, Torek was thrashed and forced to begin again. The boy's second duty was to ring the bell that would bring the labourers into the house. This was done at least 4 times a day, once for each meal, but if his uncle had any news or additional instructions for the labourers, which he frequently did, the bell might need to be sounded a dozen times or more. There was a huge iron bell in the tower, and the boy quickly discovered that he had to throw his entire body into the motion of pulling the chain in order to have it sound loud enough to bring everyone in from the field. If he was tired and did not pull the back-breaking chain hard enough, his uncle was soon at his side to beat him until he rang the bell loud and clear. Torek's third task was dusting all the shelves in his uncle's vast library. As deep and old as the shelves were, he was required to work with a long, heavy duster on a rod. The only way that he could reach to the back of the shelves was to hold the duster at his shoulder and then swing it out in a sweeping motion. Again, if the uncle saw any dust left over or felt that the boy was not working as hard as he ought to, the punishment was swift and severe. After several years, Minas Torek grew into a young man, but his job responsibilities were not increased. His uncle promised to teach him a business once Torek had demonstrated his mastery of his servile assignments. Devoid from any knowledge of any work other than his own, Torek never knew how badly in debt his uncle was, and how poorly the farm's yield was. In his 18th year, Torek was called into the cellar by his uncle. He thought that he had not done a good enough job scouring the floor down there, and was frightened of the beating to come. What he found, however, was his uncle packing his goods into crates. "I'm leaving Morrowind," he explained. "The business has gone sour, so I thought I'd try my luck running a caravan in Skyrim. I understand there's good money to be made, trading fake Dwemer artifacts to the Nords and Cyrodiils. I wish I could take you with me, my lad. But there won't be much need for scouring, bell-pulling, and dusting where I'm going." "But, uncle," said Torek, "I can't read. I knows nothing of the business you promised to teach me. What wills I do's on my own?" "I'm certain you can find a job in some domestic capacity," shrugged the uncle. "I've done my best with you." Torek had never stood up to his uncle before, and felt no anger, only a sort of coldness that gripped his heart. Among his uncle's possessions being packed away was an old heavy iron axe, allegedly of Dwemer manufacture. He picked it up in his hand and was surprised to find it was not much heavier than his dusting rod. Yeah, I was just thinking of the sweeping motion he was doing when he was dusting the shelves is probably going to be what made him so good with an axe, I bet. In fact, it felt very comfortable as he pulled it over his shoulder and swung it out as he had done so many times before. In this instance, however, he swung it into his uncle's right arm. The old man screamed with pain and rage, but for some reason Torek didn't feel frightened anymore. He propped the axe against his other shoulder and swung it out again. It cut a swath across the old man's chest, and he fell to the floor. Torek hesitated before lifting the axe above his head. It was another natural position for him, like he was ringing a bell. Yeah, all of the things he was doing taught him how to use an axe. Great. Over and over again he swung down as if he was calling the labourers in from the field, except for this time there was no sound except for a wet thump, and no labourers came in from the field. Of course, his uncle had sent them away hours before. After a time, there was nothing left of his uncle that couldn't be washed down the cellar drain. The process of cleaning up came easily to Torek as well. Blood scrubbed up much quicker than the usual grime and sultrous flour that littered the cellar floor. It was well known that Torek's uncle was planning to leave Morrowind, so his disappearance provoked no suspicion. The house and all the belongings were sold to the debt collectors, but Torek took the axe. It seemed that his uncle had given him some worthwhile business skills, after all. There we go. Confessions of a Dunmer Skoomer Eater. I think we've read that one. Yep. Deathbrand. Yes, we have read. Oh, search for the treasure of Hackney Deathbrand. Wait, what? I have Deathbrand here. How come I just got a quest for it now? It's a missed quest, I think. Search for the treasure of Hackney Deathbrand. Did we pick it up but not read it? I guess it's possible. Okay, I'm gonna assume you haven't read it and just read it. Okay, Deathbrand, a pirate's tale. Hackney Deathbrand was dying. For Garrick Windrime, ship's quartermaster, it was unthinkable. His grandfather had served under Hackney nigh on 60 years before, and even then he was a legend among the pirates of the north. The King of Ghosts, they called him. This is sort of familiar to me. No, we'll read it, It's not too long. They called him as eternal and pitiless as the sea he sailed. To Garrick, who had seen him charge into battle clad in armour of gleaming Skyrim like the kings of old, his twin swords scything men like grass, Hackney was practically a god. But none feared Hackney more than his own crew. They knew his rages, his fits of madness, how he delighted in torture and murder for its own sake, and there were some even darker rumours. Some said he fed upon the blood and souls of those he killed to extend his unnatural life. Some thought him a Daedra loosed upon the mortal world, and others said he owed his life and power, his armour and swords, to a pact with Dagon, Prince of Destruction. And the seal of that pact was the terrible wound that scarred his face, never to heal, the death brand which no man could look upon without flinching. All these things ran through Garruk's mind as he took his place on deck at the head of the crew, exchanging a curt nod with Fallon, the ship's helmsman and his chief rival. By sundown he thought one of them would be captain, the other would be dead. Wait, why? When Hackney finally emerged from his cabin, the crew fell silent. He looked frail, his voice raspy, but even so he had a presence about him. As he looked over his men, the most brutal murderers ever to ply the northern seas, not one could meet his gaze. At last he sighed. You wish to know who will be my successor, and how my share of the treasure shall be divided? That was the question, but even so there were murmurs of protest. Hackney cut them off. All these years I have looked for one who was worthy to take my place, or strong enough to take it from me. Not one of you even comes close, and so none of you shall have it. He extended his hand. In Dagon's name, I place a curse upon my armour and my swords, this ship and all it carries. Until the day when one of you can best me in combat, you shall have not a single coin. He looked up at them. Be grateful I have left you with your lives. Garrick and Fallon shared a single glance. Had anyone else said such a thing, there would have been mutiny. 100 treasure-mad pirates against one old man, but this was Hackney. The crew was silent. Hackney threw a map at Garrick's feet. Garrick, take a longboat and bury my armour in the places I have marked. Fallon, we sail to my tomb, where you shall leave me with my gold. Then burn your ships, and do as you will. I am your captain no more. And with that, he turned and stalked back to his quarters. At daybreak, Garrick took his leave and set out in a longboat with 3 of his men. They landed on a shoal to the north of Solstheim at the place Hackney had marked, made camp and began to dig. But already greed stirred in Garrick's heart. Time and again he glanced at the iron-bound chest they had brought with them. The old man was gone, perhaps already dead. His orders foolish. That night Garrick pried open the chest and drew out the helm within. The Skyrim shimmered in the moonlight. It was time for a new king of ghosts to rise. He placed the helmet on his head, and he screamed. And it is said you can hear that screaming still on moonlit nights on a rocky shoal off the northern coast of Solstheim. Postscript. This story is one of the last in the Hackney saga. The a tale surrounding the life and adventures of the legendary pirate king Hagnir Deathbrand. How much of it is actually true, if indeed any of it is true, I leave to the reader's discretion. Artist Strallen, House Redder and Scribe. Okay. Interesting. The Red Year, Volume 2. We read Volume 1 earlier. The Red Year, Volume 2 by Melis Ravel. Forward. When I originally decided to write this accounting of the Red Year, I elected to travel across Morrowind to speak to the Dunmer people themselves. I sought first-hand accounts and personal views about the cataclysmic event. I felt that if I simply did the research in the library stacks of the College of Winterhold, I wasn't really telling the tale that needed to be told. What struck me as I moved from city to city, town to town, camp to camp, is that all of the Dunmer I met shared an incredible bond of sheer courage and unshakable faith. So what began as a chronicle of one of the worst events in the history of Morrowind became something altogether different, a celebration of a people who could never be defeated. Saldus Lerfu, Vivec City. I was a trader back then. Ran a pack guard from Vivec City clear down to Narcissus. I was walking along the south road when the strangest thing happened. All of the noise around me stopped. The normal things one hears as they travel, like the sound of the wind blowing through the treetops. It was just deathly quiet. I felt a tingling sensation all over my body, and my guard began to stomp around. Whatever it was driving him crazy. As I tried to get him under control, there was a massive explosion from the center of the city. I saw the cantons fall apart before I was knocked off my feet. Then I remember the ground starting to rumble. It lasted for a long time, and it receded into the distance, as if directed towards the center of Vardenfell. A few minutes later, the Red Mountain erupted, sending a huge cloud of fire into the sky. My pack guard long since fled, and I decided I should do the same. I never stopped running until I reached Narcissus. I asked him if he knew what had happened to Vivec City. I didn't hear until much later that the Ministry of Truth had struck the heart of the city. What I do know for certain is that many Dunmer lost their lives that day, and that Vivec City is no more. Derestran, Mournhold. The Red Year didn't heavily affect Mournhold itself, but it had touched many of the people who lived there. A lot of us had relatives somewhere in Vardenfell, and after the first day that the eruption occurred, we started receiving reports of widespread devastation in Vivec City, Sagrif Mora, Balmora, and Aldrune. I don't think a single night went by for months where you wouldn't hear someone openly weeping. It was a sad time for all of us. I asked if Mournhold had sustained any damage during the Red Year. I don't know why, but the destruction seemed to pass us by. A few Dunmer claimed that it was the Tribunal watching over us, but others claimed that the Tribunal was to blame for everything. I actually saw a few of those disagreements come to blows. It was a strange time. It was an interesting response from Deros regarding Mournhold's role during the Red Year. Relief efforts began almost a month after the mountain erupted. It was actually a directive that came from the House Redder Council that was living in Mournhold at the time. I can't remember his name, but he took charge of the situation and sent soldiers, supplies, able-bodied Dunmer to the outlying settlements that had been hit the hardest. I was sent to Balmora. The place was a mess. Hardly anything left in town was still standing. I spent maybe 2 months there helping to rebuild the town, getting my fellow Dunmer back on their feet. It started out as a burden, but it ended up being the most rewarding thing I'd ever done in my life. I started some friendships there that still last to this day, including my beloved wife. Okay. Poison Song, we've read. Words of the Wind. Nope, we have not read Words of the Wind. Words of the Wind. This is a volume of verse collected from Ashlander wise women. May I shrink to dust is from the Ahamusa Ashlanders of the Gracelands. May I shrink to dust in your cold wild wastes, and may my tongue speak its last hymn to your wind. I pray for the herder that whistles to his guar at play. I pray for the hunter that stalks for White Walkers. Oh, Game of Thrones! I pray for the wise one that seeks under the hill, and the wife who wishes for one last touch of her dead child's hand. I will not pray for that which I have lost, when my heart springs forth from your soil like a seed, and blossoms anew beneath tomorrow's sun. Alright then. Okay, deer hide, coin purse, all pieces. flour. Didn't mean to take those boots or those clothes. Have those back. Ancestors on the Dharma we've read, but is at least valuable. Libyan Crisis. Yeah, I know we've read that one. Red Book of Riddles? I know we read I think the Yellow Book of Red Book of Riddles is there as well. And Dharma of Skyrim. Yeah. There's another book over here. Another Death Brand. Clothes, miner's clothes. Reaver Marauder. Oh, chitin armor. It's pretty good. Reaver Lord, 200 gold. They have money. Oh, these guys have bone mold armor. Iron Mace of Chills. Bookish Dagger, Minor Staff of Turning. And a chest. Ring of Eminent Wielding. 100 attacks do 30% more damage. And right now I've got Minor Wielding. That is good news. Scaled Bracer of Deft Hands. Pickpockets are better. Don't really care too much about that. But I'm going to be wearing that Ring of Eminent Wielding. 15% extra damage? Yes, please. Now we need to drop a lot of stuff. Hunting bow 7, longbow 6. Steel battle axe. Like just under 5. Steel sword 4.5. Okay. Alright, steel sword, steel battle axe, iron shield, iron gauntlets. It's just over 6. It's just over 8. Okay, what's the first thing here now? Eight. Hunting bow. Steel dagger. We have bone mold armor, I'm not sure. Yeah. That would probably be a thing to drop. Yeah, okay. Oh, we missed a goblet there, but we'll leave that. Oh wait, was that whole area? I believe so. Cool. Let's do alchemy first. What? Okay. And let's cook some food. Crab stew. Cool. Alright, onwards. Yeah. Critical strike as well. 105 gold. These guys are rich. 2 rubies, arrows. Damn. I'll leave the rest. Yeah, some more Draugr around here that we can loot. Something that these guys might have somehow missed out on. Yep, there's just jewels lying in these guys that the bandits ignored. Or they thought no one would bother to search for Draugr. Jeez. Oh, burnt corpse as well. Alright, there's the exit right there. Who's this? High Elf. Just High Elf. And Imperial. Alright, I guess the Banditos had some victims. Oh, this goes right back out to Solstheim. We're free! Are we in a fight? Yeah, we're in a fight. Alright, we're not here. Good times. Right, well, thank God for autosaves, eh? Do I hear a dragon as well? Yeah, there's a dragon over there. Alright, well, I guess we'll deal with it too. Why not just... What's Faendal doing? Why is he... Oh, okay. Where's the... Oh, is there a path down here? Just navigating this damn maze. Up this way, apparently. Did you fall? You up there?
Huh?
Faendal, please, buddy. Was he dead? Did he give up? Or what the heck? Alright, well let's rummage through their belongings, actually. Ah, there is someone still alive. Accurate. Ooh, chest. Good chest too. Food, salt, healing, magicka. Oh, did someone fall off? Oh yeah, someone fell off. Ooh, that's a nice little set of fish. A kiting helmet, that looks so weird on that shelf. Imagine someone just grabs it and tries to take a bite out of that. Oh, no, we don't wear anything. Gunner outfit. The heck is this? Enchanted. Magicka regenerates 75% faster. Wow. Okay, Dunmer outfit. There you go. Ooh, Sujama. More books, Poison Song. Ooh, yeah, looks like there's a few here we haven't read. The Tale of Drozira. Let's check. Nope, doesn't look like we've read this one. The Tale of Drozira, transcription and commentary by Sonia Vet. The following is a tale overheard as told by a Khajiit father to his cub. while making camp with one of their caravans. I have attempted to transcribe it as he told it, for the Khajiit do not often speak of their history to outsiders. In truth, I do not believe he would have spoken at all but for the vast helping of moon sugar he had consumed that night. Come and warm your fur by the fire, Marashir, and I will tell you of how our Drozira came to be the greatest of all Khajiit. And Drozira I took in this case to be an honoured ancestor. Wait, this is him talking, isn't it? The ancient Khajiit heard the great roar of Alkosh, the great cat king of time, Ed, known as Akatosh in the Empire. Oh, okay, he's talking, and then in brackets it's like the editor's notes. The ancient Khajiit heard the great roar of Alkosh, the great cat king of time, Ed, known as Akatosh in the Empire, at Alduin in Skyrim, and raced to his voice. In 3 days' time they crossed the whole of Tamriel, resting not even for the moon sugar, for such was the speed of Khajiiti then. They joined with the pride of Alkosh and were his strongest warriors, Lorkaj, Ed, sure in the Nordic. However, chose to give his roar to the Ra Wolfhearth to spite the Khajiiti warriors, for he was jealous of their devotion to Alkosh. Seeing the ferocity of the Khajiiti warriors, Ra Wolfhearth could not bring himself to put them to death. Using the roar that Lorkaj had given him, he spoke to Masser and Secunda to move to their fullness in the sky. The Khajiiti warriors became Senche, but Lorkaj stripped them from all reason. When Ra Wolfhearth returned to sink his fangs into the Red Mountain, he called upon his people to aid him. Drozira was the only among the Rojit who still remembered, and so was the only one who answered the summons. But these Nord bards are, expletive removed, and do not sing of how the great Ash King rode Drozira up the Red Mountain itself to strike at the heart of the Dunmer. Never is it mentioned how Drozira pounced atop Dumalakath, the dwarf oak, when he had his blade to the throat of the Ash King so that he could not speak. Nor do they sing of how Lorkaj returned Drozira from the lands of Shegorath for his bravery and for saving the Ash King. So when you find a bard who speaks ill of the Khajiit, you'll be sure to leave him an iron claw in the back to remind him who saved Skyrim. Damn. As for the rest of the Rojit, they grew small and lost their cunning altogether, which is why you should not hesitate to strike them down when they approach the wagons. So it was told by my father, and so I tell it now to you. Now, be a good cub and go fetch me some more moon sugar for these sweet cakes. Much of the tale seemed to me little more than a boast, but certain facts do seem to line up with what we believe is the truth behind the legends. It does raise questions as to why we do not know more about the history of the Khajiit, and what parts they have played that might not have been recorded by our written histories. Oh. Reclamations. We haven't read. The Reclamations, The Fall of a Tribunal and the Rise of a New Temple by Farah of Rihad. The destruction of Vivek City and the subsequent eruption of Red Mountain in 405 was not just a crisis in terms of the physical destruction it caused, it also cut deeply into the ancient religious beliefs of the Dunmer. The fall of the Ministry of Truth was the last straw in the tottering support for the temple's worship of Almalexia, Sophasil, and Vivek. All three of the tribunes now widely believed dead or disappeared, what had been a simmering schism within the ranks of the temple priesthood burst into the open. While outsiders may never know the full tale of this internal struggle, when the smoke cleared a few years later, the former dissident priests were in full control of the temple hierarchy, with tribunal loyalists either purged or recanted. The so-called new temple now declared the worship of the tribunes a result of misguided teaching, blaming the mistakes on the former tribunal. The temple now taught that the Daedra venerated by the Ashlander tribes, Azura, Mephala, and Boethia, were the true way, and should be revered by the Dunmer people. Fittingly, the Daedra were named the Reclamations as if they were reclaiming their status from the tribunal. In an elegant compromise, no doubt intended to reconcile the large majority of the temple priesthood, who were neither dissidents nor fanatic tribunal loyalists, Almalexia, Sophasil, and Vivek were relegated to the status of saints, a traditional way to venerate the most honoured Dunmer ancestors. This apparently satisfied enough of the existing priesthood, and the new temple was able to maintain at least a semblance of outward continuity. The rise of the new temple almost completely vindicated the previously persecuted Ashlanders, who had continued to worship the three Daedra throughout the tribunal's rule. The Ashlanders are now lauded as the keepers of the old ways and having true vision. It is now quite common for many of the Dunmer people to make the arduous pilgrimages into the ash waste to seek the counsel of the wise women. These women have supposedly opened the eyes of those who they claim were blinded by the tribunal, and directly connect the eruption of the Red Mountain and the Argonian invasion to the anger of the Free Daedra. House Endoril, whose fortunes were so entwined with the tribunal temple, suffered greatly from its fall. While House Indoril still technically exists, the priesthood of the temple are now considered one and the same with House Indoril. Those who became priests are now considered to have joined Indoril. The political power of the Indoril has thus passed entirely into the hands of the temple, although members of the old House Indoril are still overrepresented in the priesthood. The rise of the new temple has a number of interesting parallels with the rise of House Redoran, each filled a vacuum of power resulting from the crisis of Red Year. How durable these new arrangements will prove, religious and political, remains to be seen. The span of 2 centuries is quite brief in the long history of the ancient Dunmer people. Okay. And one last book called Trap. Trap by Anonymous. I saw the gold and I took it. A different man might not have, I know that, and from time to time I think back on the hour when I saw the gold and took it. You see, I was hungry. Isn't it ironic? I don't remember much else about that night but the gold and the hunger. I don't remember the name of the tavern or even the village, but I believe it was somewhere in southern Vardenfell. I can't really be certain. For some time I sat dumbly in my chair, my mind occupied with nothing but the pain in my stomach. If you've never been truly hungry from days of no food, you can't know what it's like. You can't concentrate on anything. It wasn't until a figure to my left got up from the table to get a drink and left a stack of gold marks behind that I snapped to awareness. From this moment on, my memory is crystalline. My eyes to the gold, my eyes to the stranger's back, walking calmly toward the barmaid, my hand to the gold in my pocket. I'm up from the table and out the door. For just a moment I look back. The stranger has turned to look my way. He wears a hood, but I can feel his eyes meet mine. I swear I can sense a smile. Out into the street and behind some barrels I crouch down, waiting for my pursuer. One benefit of a lifetime running from guards, I know how to disappear. For nearly an hour I waited there, suffering even more from hunger. You see, I was awake now, and I had the means to buy myself a feast. This knowledge tortured me. When I finally got to my feet, I very nearly fainted. I had only enough energy to walk to the other edge of the village to a run-down tavern before collapsing at a table. I think I must have fallen unconscious for a moment before I heard the barmaid's voice. "Can I get you something to eat, Sarah?" I gorged myself on roasts and pies and huge frothing mugs of grief. As the fog of near-fatal starvation began to lift, I looked up from my plate to see a gold-masked stranger looking at me, his visage glowing by the blinding light of the moon through the black window. He wore black leather armor and was a different physique and size from the man I had burgled, but I could tell he knew. I paid for my meal quickly and left. I skirted the edge of the village through a tiled central courtyard surrounded by the squalid peasants' cottages. There was not a light shining from any window or door. No one was on the streets. I could find no place to hide, so I took the road out of town, heading for the wilderness. Hunger had pushed me on in the days before, and now I felt what I imagined to be the whip of guilt, or perhaps even then it was fear. I fell twice, rushing down the dark path, unused to the slopes and pebbled texture. The sounds of animal life, which I had numbed to, were suddenly very loud in my ears. There was something else out there in the night, something chasing me. On the side of the road there was a low wall, and I scrambled over it and hid. I knew enough about concealment to pick a spot where the bulwarks hung slightly, so even if someone saw the outline of my figure, he would assume it to be part of a wall. It wasn't long before I heard the sound of running footsteps when more than one person passed by me and then stopped. There was a moment of whispered conversation, and one of the people ran back on the path toward the village. Then, silence. After a few more minutes I peered out from behind the wall. A female figure in a dun gown, wimple, and veil stood in the road. On the other end of the road, blocking the way back to town, was a knight, coated in dark mail. I could see neither of their faces. For a moment I froze, unsure whether either or both had seen me. "Run," said the woman in a dead voice. The hill behind me was too steep, so I leapt over the wall and across the road in 2 bounds. Into the night forest I ran, the maddening jingle of the accursed gold in my pocket. I knew I was making so much noise my pursuers could not help but hear me, but now I cared more for putting distance between us than in stealth. Clouds of ash filtered through the moonlight, but I still knew it was too bright to hide. I ran and ran until I felt all my blood pumping in my head and heart, begging me to stop. I was at the edge of a wood on the other side of a shallow stream, from a vast crumbling house encircled by a rail fence. Behind me, running footfall in the broken, dusty earth. To the south downstream, a distinct sodden splashing of someone moving nearer. There was no choice. I half jumped and half fell into the mud and dragged myself up the bank on the other side. I rolled under the fence and ran through the open field toward the house. Jerking my head around, I saw 7 shadowy figures by the fence posts. The cloaked man I had robbed, the man in the gold mask, the veiled woman, the dark knight, 3 others too who had pursued me but I had never seen, and I thought I was the stealthy one. The moon was entirely hidden in a swarm of ash. Only the stars offered their meagre illumination as I reached the open door of the ruin. I slammed and bolted the door behind me, but I knew there could be no protection for very long. As I looked about the ravaged interior of broken furniture, I searched for someone to hide. A corner, a niche where if I stayed very still, no one would see me. A splintered table lying against the wall looked perfect for my purposes. I crawled under it and jumped when something moved and I heard a frightened old man's voice. "Who's there?" "It's all right," I whispered. "I'm not one of them." His puckered, gnarled hand reached out from the shadow and gripped my arm. Instantly I felt sleep fall upon me, resist it as I might. The old man's horrible face, the face of a hungry dead, emerged as the moon came out and shone through the broken window. His talons still gripping me, I fell back, smelling his death surround me. The table was thrown back. There stood the 7 hunters and a dozen more. No, hunters they weren't. They were harriers who had chased me out of every hiding place, expertly pushing me to the lair of a real predator. He was weak with age. The old man was not as good at the chase as once he was, a blunt killing machine. Oh right, so the gold, they didn't care about the gold, they just wanted to lure him to the ruin where the old guy was. "Please," I said. It was all I could muster. Having enjoyed the sport I offered, he granted me mercy of sorts. I was not bled dry, I was not cursed by being made one of them. The burn. I was kept with others, most of us mad with fear, to be aged and tasted at the vampire's whim. Okay. We are called cattle. I lost all hope months ago of ever leaving the dank cellar where they keep us. Even if this note finds its way to the outside world, I cannot give enough information about my whereabouts to be rescued. Even if some champion were able to defeat the bloodsuckers, I only write this to keep my own sanity and to warn others. There is something worse than being hungry. Being food. I like that. Alright then, shall we head back down? Dragon's still there? I'm gonna drop down here and loot this guy. Cool. Ah. Is that our fellow over there?
What was that? I knew it.
2 copper and onyx circlets. Curious. What else is there left to drop? Hunting bow. Yeah. Is the dragon gone now? I don't know. See some neck over there. Was that it? That's it, isn't it? It's in that direction. Yeah, it is this dragon. Or who was that? No, that wasn't another one. Let's save it just in case this is like an evil ancient dragon that will murder the heck out of us. Oh, there's people there too. I wonder if they're Skal. How close are we to like Skal land? It's all the way over here. So not very close, but I guess they can travel. Oh, it's seen us now. Oh, it's just a regular dragon. We kill it in three swipes. Hello? Do I not get dragon souls from Souls Time dragons? Guess not. Orcish dagger is 10. Bone more boots. Did I have bone more boots? Yes. Um, yeah, it should do. Where's my dragon soul, man? No fair. Benkum.
We're already late. Not sure why we decided to take such an extended shore time.
Who are you?
Best be shoving off now. When the tide goes, we'll go with it. Think we've got to get back to our ship now. Hope our shipments are still good.
It's a long
How
way
long
back
is
to
it been?
Windhelm from here.
Best be shoving off now.
Oh, are you guys from like the Waterstone? Were you guys
Best
enslaved?
be shoving off now. Best be shoving off now.
Best be shoving off now.
Best be shoving off now.
Everyone
Best
wants
be
to
shoving
shove off.
now.
Okay. You guys have fun with that. I still hear a dragon. I think. Or is it just, is it just netjes? Maybe they're just netjes. You know what? I think we've we've done quite a lot already. Let's go back to Raven Rock and give Glover Mallory his pickaxe, because that was what we were there for. So we completed that quest now, the finding out about the old man stuff. I guess we have to go back to Cretius, right? And report back. Makes sense. Alright, well, we won't go out of our way to do that.
As the wife to the second counselor of Raven Rock, it would be my pleasure to help you any way that I can. You aren't here with bad news regarding my husband, are you? There.
Just remember who's in charge around here.
Please to be warned if you find my boat.
Okay, I was trying to talk to you, but...
This is House Redoran territory. You do well to remember that.
Oh, Fethis Alor.
Want to buy anything? Or just laugh at our misfortunes?
Still buying East Empire pendants?
Absolutely. Here's your payment.
500 gold.
If
Nice.
you need any supplies, I'd be on... Take a look.
Forget what you sell. I don't feel like buying
If you need
from
any
you.
supplies, you know where to find me.
Azura's wisdom,
Skyrim,
friend.
Looking for any
Hillary,
potions,
Hagrill,
ingredients, alchemical
Mary.
supplies.
Always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by.
Alright. Glover.
Glover Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best.
I noticed the shadow mark by your door. Did I?
Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from
Oh,
the guild's
'cause I'm in the
make their
guild.
way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart?
Apparently so. Oh, okay, because I wasn't part of the Thieves Guild when I first came to Solstheim, so... Okay. He's well.
Good to hear. Damn layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine?
Did you send him any letters?
Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone.
Nothing at all? Oh, what Thieves Guild stuff?
Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle.
Thieves Guild has a problem out here?
Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And
Oh, he has a problem.
It's really my problem anyway. I caused it.
What did you do?
A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us.
He stole something from you, right?
That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect.
Where's Esmond Tyne now?
Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers, but he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there.
I'll get that formula back for you.
You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed.
Cool. So I've got another quest. Recover the bone mold formula for Glover Mallory, which we could only get if we were part of a Thieves Guild. Interesting. I have your ancient Nordic pickaxe.
So, you finally tracked down old Cretius, eh? Quite a character.
He wasn't hard to find. He was at the mine down the road.
Since you went through all the trouble of finding it for me and all, you keep it.
Oh. After all that, why?
I just wanted to remind that codger you can't just go around taking things from other people. Now that you've delivered the message, I'm satisfied. Besides, that pickaxe hasn't done me any good in years. Maybe you can put it to good use.
Oh, thank you.
Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
That's alright. You don't need to fix weapons and armor in this game. This isn't Oblivion. Alright. Yeah, quest complete. So I guess we'll head off back home. I mean, this was meant to be a simple get the pickaxe for someone quest, but we turned it into... we basically did a whole entire other quest. While we were at Raven Rock.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Gallen.
Well, if you're looking to shut up, then please do. My favorite word? I'm still annoyed that I didn't get the soul from that dragon. I know it was a baby dragon and we only hit it 3 times and it died, but still. Oh, it heard me. Oh boy. It's go time. Wait. How did I get over encumbered? Oh, this pickaxe isn't a quest item anymore, right? Ugh. I can't be fighting a dragon like that. Did I have bone mold gauntlets? Yes, I guess. Drop those. Looks like an important dragon.
If you're not going to use that armor you dropped, mind if I take it?
Consider it yours.
Get it right now and wear it. Many thanks.
Yeah, I would wear it if I were you, Sven. Stop with the drive-bys, man. Why can't I shout? Why can't I shout? Sometimes, for some reason, I just can't shout, and I don't understand. I don't have one selected for some reason, right? I didn't even hit it. What a waste. Faendal, you're not having a good time, are you? Oh man, just give me a bit of a break. Does Riverwood not have any guards anymore? What happened to the Riverwood guards? There's no one here. And there never is anyone here. Why are they hurting each other? Well, it's a dragon. Oh.
Please, someone do something.
You're working on it, man.
Don't hurt me.
Oh my god, so close. Ugh. What? How's that still bloody getting me? Might as well use these minor healing ones. Why am I so slow when I'm... Oh god. No. Okay. Just come. I can't fly through that. Stop with the drive-bys, man. This is ridiculous. 3 drive-bys in a row, just land somewhere, man. Land. Alright, of course, as soon as I... what other bolts do I have? 2 of them. 14 damage. That's it. Okay. Oh, I got him. Okay, he's quite low. It's worth a hit. Come on, why does this never work? gotta be landing now, surely. Nope. Okay, so now that got me. Oh, he's officially come back to planet Earth. Quick save. Why is the kid running across now? Ooh. He got a bite off. But it wasn't enough. Now I get this soul, right? Okay. Okay, dragon bones and scales. Elven sword. It's not great. Assuming I want to take all of those. 25, 15 into 500 is like 30, so the bones are actually better. That can go. I think we just... Yeah, I think just arrest this... tusk. Arrest his scales, I think. You're welcome.
Can't be. You took its very soul.
I sure did.
It can't be. You took its very soul.
Hey, you're not gonna prank me anymore, are you, Fred? Now you've seen what I can do.
This next song goes out to the Dragonborn, the savior of Skyrim.
Alright. Apparel, Ebony.
Alduin's wings, they did darken the sky. His roar fury's fire, and his scales sharpened sides. Men ran and they cowered, and they fought and they died. They burned and they bled as they issued their cries. We need saviors.
I'm a blade now. What do you want me to carry?
No, I just want my stuff back. Oh, you don't want this elven shield anymore? In fact, you don't seem to be using much. Oh, now he's using the armor sword. Okay.
Let's get going then.
I think we'll actually keep the regular The ancient Nordic pickaxe. If that's the only thing that can get Stalrim, it's the same weight. Like, what's the point of the pickaxe? I assume I can mine regular things with this too. Oh, Bloodskull Blade, still a quest item. I guess we have to complete that quest for it to be, completed. That quest item too. Alright, and that wraps up what's been a lengthy episode. It started off with us wanting to just give a pickaxe to an old dude, but it turned into a whole exploration of the Raven Rock mine, discovering the ruins that were hidden there. It wasn't actually that difficult to find. It didn't feel like that unsafe from like a rocks falling on you perspective. But yeah, there were a bunch of. To be fair, there were Draugr Death Lords, so I can understand not wanting to go that far. But we found Cresius. Was it Cresius? Cresius's great granddad Gratian, and we found the site of his death. He was unable to explore further. We were able to figure out how to open the door by swinging wildly with the what was it? The Bloodskull Blade, I think it was called. We got into the barrow. We killed the dragon priest as our Chrysos. And yeah, it was a cool little exploration, and I'm sure the old man will be happy. We got the pickaxe back for Glover as well. We took down some dragons, some of which we got souls for. What else? Yeah, we read a whole bunch of books as well, and got up to date on Solstheim / Morrowind lore a little bit. But yeah, that will be it for this episode. In the next one, we will be doing this quest here. Retrieve next jelly for Malore. Yeah, we actually found some on our travels, but then we used it. But yeah, we need to find 5 neck jelly for Malore Ient, who we saw in Raven Rock Market. So that's what we'll be doing in the next episode. But for now, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.